I like some stuff, I'll add it to the cart. I like it, I'll add to cart, add to cart. I spend money and I need to not. So yeah.
J'ai mis trop d'amour, trop d'élan, trop gentil, trop parfait, trop tendre, la mère de mes enfants. I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Mon aligné,
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jess from Jess Insight. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I really am passionate about things like this because financial literacy is something that I really am striving personally myself, but also love to educate and inspire others to do. Compared to traditional white Americans, financial literacy in African Americans is about 38% to their 55%. Like, that's a wild statistic. And for me, I'm gonna do what I can to put the girlies on and to put the, the kings on. Okay. So we need to do better, and we need to do better and educate ourselves, but we also need to be educated. And I think, that's a toss up for the education system here in the United States, but I'm gonna do what I need to do to tell you some tips and tricks that I'm learning as I gain and learn through my financial literacy journey, but also some things I'm going to do in 2025 to glow up, to make sure that I am making a path for my future and what that will look like. So to me, let's kind of get started and go right into the video and go with some of the goals. I don't know about you, but for me, in my family one day, I want us to be able to live life without worrying consistently about income. And for me, it's not saying, hey, we need to make this much money or we need to have this much saved. I think whatever lifestyle will lead, we're comfortably living in that and be able to afford, if anything, say an emergency, a tire, a new car, something breaks down, me and my family are not fraught with pressure. Like, it's more of an inconvenience rather than a life-altering or life financial impact to our day-to-day. So for me, that's really the goal that I have set. By having that goal, it kind of not pressures me, but it kind of leads me into the things that I do day-to-day. I'm not gonna lie, to give you a background, 2024 and previous years, I had some good starts. I spent a little more than I should have. Other years I've saved a lot more, and vice versa. I personally am not happy. I'm not happy where I am. I'm not happy of what I've been doing. I definitely think there's some habits that need to be nipped. I also think that there's some things that I could be doing to intentionally save that I'm not doing. So personally, that's me being hard on myself, but it's also me being realistic, and I want to be accountable for what I'm doing and walking the walk. So that's why this year it's so important for me to do that. So once I kind of have my goals laid out of financially what I want to have happen for this year, so I went ahead, new year, new me. So I wrote down my goals of what's, a SMART goal, what is specific, what's measurable, what's achievable, realistic, and, in a great time. What is that for me? And so I wrote down those numbers. And to me, I have a, superlative goal that I want to reach. But let me be realistic here. I don't think I'll be able to save this year as much as I want to, because I've already committed to so many other things. And unfortunately, knowing that, I'm going to set more of a realistic savings goal for me this year, and trying to be more intentional about that. So for example, with my savings, I have a high yield savings account. If you don't know what a high yield savings account, please search up YouTube, TikTok. I mean, any financial person will tell you that a high yield savings account is basically like a regular savings account that you have, except that you're gaining back money on interest. And with that, you're able to pretty much have your money saving for that emergency, for that investment goal, whatever you have, and it's making money for you. So it's better than sitting in a regular savings account, because at least you're gaining interest and some money back for saving your money in the first place. So in my high yield savings account, I do, in my bi-weekly paychecks, have a automatic deduction that goes to my high yield savings. So I do want to up that contribution, and I do want to make sure that it hits a specific number that I'm comfortable with, so that in an event, an emergency, or vice versa, or towards my investment goal, that continues to be there as a resource for me. So I am gonna up that contribution this year. That is a big goal of mine. I think right now it's really small. I think I have like about $250 going in there each paycheck. I definitely want to up that a little bit more. But it might be a little bit later this year because I do have some things early this month that I have to pay for. So again, I'm already making some concessions because everything is different, right? We all have goals. We all have like, these things on TikToks like save $10,000 3 months. Like some of these things are not realistic if you don't have the income and you don't have the time. You don't have the resources to make that happen. So I'm gonna be realistic with myself and know that in a couple months, I will up that contribution so that I be able to hit some kind of goal for my savings intention for the 2025 year. Knowing that, some other things that is really, really important when you're doing a financial glow up like I'm trying to do is being educated about the different resources. So another part is looking at some additional resources. So resources to me are kind of like future. And the biggest ones that people think about when they're looking at the future is, in the event something happens to them, what are some policies that you can take out, i.e. life insurance, and then also what are some things that you can take out or at least contribute to, i.e. a retirement account, either a Roth or traditional account that you can take out to be able to contribute for future, Jess or future you, whatever that may be at the age of 65. So I do have ones that you can contribute through work. I definitely would take a look and see if there is a match through work. If there isn't a match through work, sometimes it might not be worth it, and it might be easier to take an account outside of work that you can contribute and add whenever you want. That might have a little bit more return and more flexibility on what options that you want to have in your retirement and what stock options and things like that. So definitely do your research. I know for me, like one of my previous employers, I really didn't like the options they had through the 401k, and I decided I was going to do just a self one throughout the year. And then in this new position that I've had, I really do like the options, so I did take that in their match and doing that moving forward. So definitely educate yourself on what those options is. And if you don't understand what it is, I encourage you, no matter how much you think you know, the resources are on there on your HR portal. If you're in the corporate world or vice versa, just sit down and have that meeting with HR. Just ask. It's easier to ask. It's easier to reach out to them, sit down for 30 minutes and have a quick run through your benefits. And then if you have specific more questions, they list out the resources for you to call specifically those different branches for, dental, for health, for, your policies, your supplementary, accidental disability, all these things that you might have taken, as well as your 401ks or retirement benefits, either a health savings account, things like that. Go ahead and ask, see the benefits, and pick the best one that relates to your situation. So I think for me, that was a big thing because you want to see what those benefits are, if you even want them, because you're paying for them, right? Like you opt in and it's deducted through your paycheck. So if it's not something worth it, it's not something that you need right now, or i.e. you're with a partner and they have better benefits, go ahead and go over there, okay, sweetie? And don't take that big deduction. Just don't sign up for anything without any actual looking at resources. And if you don't know, ask your parents. But if your parents don't know, ask HR. As a first generation Haitian American myself, there's a lot of things I had to learn myself because I'm the first one really going through this, right? I have parents that came over and they built a life here so that we can live the life, but these were things that they didn't have access to. And now that we have access to them, how can I put myself in a better position so that when I do have kids or have a family of my own, that they're educated, they can start building wealth right away from where I've started, and every generation just goes higher and higher and higher. So I understand that everything that I'm doing right now affects future Jessica. So future Jessica needs to grab current Jessica by and shake her, okay? Because right now, current Jessica is spending money and she needs to stop spending money. But Sephora, look at my makeup. Sephora, the fact that I'm easily rogue within the first 4 months is crazy of the year. Also that I'm, diamond on Ulta is crazy. Like, I spend money and I need to not. So yeah, recenter, come back. But yeah, so that's some of the things that I'm doing right now to really recenter and re-navigate my position. I also want to start more projects on creating passive streams of income, and that's things with, social media, with YouTube, with TikTok and things like that. Especially on YouTube, I want to be more consistent. So really starting a journey with that. So whatever that is to you, whether it's a business, whether it's, creating, something on Amazon or creating a book, like whatever you want to do, you want to mow lawns on the side, you want to do Poshmark on the side, you want to do all of this, do that, because that's going to help you. 2020 has taught us a lot, the year that we'll never forget, literally traumatic. That year taught us that whatever we're doing, we need to have more than our traditional 9 to 5. And I believe in that too. And especially when, I'm someone like me that I'm not really tied. I don't really have someone else's financials in the picture. I can only focus on mine. And so you can't rely on anyone else but you. And so for me, it's really, really important that not only am I treating and getting the things from my 9 to 5, but I'm also working on what passive incomes that I can have outside of that. So if anything happens, regardless, you're able to lean on something and have that to float you for a little bit. But regardless, I think these are some of the things that you have to be intentional about when you are trying to financially glow up, because these are things that will make or break you and let you lead the life that you want to lead. With all that being said, one of the last things I want to touch on is intentional spending. So I mentioned earlier, I've spent some money. I've been on a few trips. And I will be on a few trips this year. So it's not going to change. I actually think I think this year I actually have the most trips slated that I've had in the past 3 years in 1 year. There's a lot of places I'm going to in 2025, so I already know that that's going to put some of my saving aspect on the back burner a little bit, although I do have a goal I still want to meet. But that makes me very intentional about my spending now. And so knowing that I have some of these things, how do we have this intentional spending mindset? Because sometimes I'd be scrolling, I add this to cart, add that 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 to cart, add to carts, and it's bad. It's real bad. And the thing is, most of the time I don't actually buy things right away. Like, I let my carts build. Like, once in a while I'll go in, I'll like some stuff, I'll add it to the cart, I'll like it, I'll add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, but I don't actually check out. My habit is I wait. And then when I do have something, I look at my cart, check out. I mean, I do look through it once, be like, did I really like that? No, take it out. But regardless, most of that stuff I actually really did like, and I check out. And that price tag, yeah, my returns are heavy. They are. My returns are heavy, but regardless, I know that I have a shopping problem. I know. I like shopping. I'm working on that. I also understand that it's okay. And so by having an intentional spending plan, it's like me saying, yes, you can shop, but here's your limit, girl. This is the number. If you go past that, you're off, your budget's off, then you have to take money off from somewhere else and vice versa. So I really want to really figure out what my spending plan is on restaurants, on shopping, on beauty products, on hair, maintenance, you know, what is that budget looking like? So that's one of the biggest things that I want to do. So some resources to help me kind of do all of this is obviously it's my phone and my laptop. So on my phone, I do have Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar Plus. If you don't know about Dave Ramsey, I'm a Dave Ramsey stan. I do believe that some of his practices do work. I don't follow everything to the T, but I do think on a traditional mindset and getting yourself on the right track, that is a plan that does really, really well. I do have my laptop that does have my full budget spreadsheets, as well as a tab right now that I have planned out of what my intentional budget is for every trip that I have this year. I have slated about 7. So what are those trips, and then, you know, what is the line item of holistically of what I want to spend during that trip, including plane, hotel, bus, restaurant, like all of that. So what does that look like? And then from there, breaking that down of saying, okay, if I want to spend $1,500 here, how do we spread out that $1,500? So these are some of the things that I am working through right now so that I can be very intentional when I'm there, as well as before then, because the trip budget also includes pre-trip, okay? Because you know how much money you spend to go on a trip, okay? My hair appointments, my brows, my all of that. So those are some of the things that I'm looking through. Regardless, hopefully you like this video. If you want to hear more about my financial glow up year and what I'm doing more, or some more updates or more numbers or more feedback into that, let me know, comment down below. I'm happy to keep this series moving forward. But stay tuned, more videos are coming every week, but just wanted to at least touch base and make sure that you guys are thinking about this, because what we're doing now affects later. Thanks so much. Look forward to speaking with you all soon. Have a great day. Bye.